Welcome, everyone, to the L7C podcast college football edition. Today, we have the last college football episode of the 2023 season, but the first episode of the new year of Content Tuesday. We have the NFL expert and head producer of the L7C, Mr. Justin Akinel, with us. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm swell. We've gotten through another college football season. A team up north won the motherfucker, and I'm here to talk about it.
That's right. And then got the OGs of the L7C, both your first episodes of 2024. Happy New Year, gentlemen. We got Byron and Cedric. How you guys doing?
Happy New Year. Doing good today. Ready to talk about some college football for the last time until September.
Byron, you don't seem as enthusiastic as you did in 2023. What's wrong?
We'll talk about it.
Man, Happy New Year. I'm sad that this is the last one for the season, but hey, it's going to be a good one nonetheless.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, obviously took our break during the holidays. A lot has happened. We have a championship crowned, as Justin already alluded to. But before we talk a little bit about that, we do have to talk about Ohio State for the last time in the regular season. And Byron, they did not end well. Take it away.
No, they did not end well. We played the Missouri Tigers in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic on December the 29th. We ended up losing 14-3. Devin Brown went down early, so he went 4 for 6 for 20 yards before he got injured. I think it was like a high ankle sprain, so he couldn't come back. So we had Lincoln Colts, our freshman quarterback, play. He went 6 for 17 for 86 yards. Travion Henderson played 19 carries for 72 yards. Mabuka played 6 receptions for 63 yards. Marvin Harrison Jr. did not play because he's resting, so it goes to the NFL, which I get. But Missouri did well. Brady Cook, 11 for 18, 128 yards, touchdown. Their running back ran all over us, 29 carries for 128 yards and a touchdown. It was a disappointing end to the Ohio State season.
Justin, obviously, you did the very first gambling episode on this podcast, and we've talked about it this college football season. Do not know why the books were fading Missouri, because I was able to clean up on that spread.
Yeah, it was odd. I think Missouri was catching 5.5 points, and I wasn't sure why. They were they only had 2 losses, and one of those losses were to Georgia, and they covered in that game. So yeah, I didn't understand, but yeah, the game was shocking. Seeing Ohio State's offense not do anything literally all fucking game. The defense absolutely showed up, only giving up 14 points, and all those points came in the fourth quarter. But yeah, Ohio State just couldn't move the ball. Missouri couldn't move the ball. Missouri just found a way to get 2 touchdowns at the in the last quarter, and that was the difference in the game for real.
Man, true that. Cedric, we've talked on this podcast a lot in these games that we've come away with at the end that the biggest difference is we had Marvin Harrison. The other team did it. We talked about it with Penn State, Wisconsin. Marvin, obviously, he did not play. And most of the offense was intact besides main starters, besides the quarterback. What were your thoughts seeing like this offense look so different?
I don't know what the hell they did before this game, honestly, because it wasn't like, and I get it, like, we hear closer to the game when people aren't playing or they're planning to rest. But they know in game plan and game prep who's showing up to practice, who's actually like running the plays, who's going to be playing in this game. And so I understand that some people out there may be giving them kind of that like excuse of, well, a lot of our talented offensive weapons, the people that have been consistently playing all season weren't playing. But for me, it's like they knew who was going to be playing. So it's very disappointing when you see this because honestly, like watching the game, I couldn't tell if it was bad game planning or bad execution. it was that pitiful that we couldn't move the ball. It's like I can't tell which it is. It's easier for me to say is bad execution just because with the right pieces, we've seen this offense move the ball up and down the field throughout the season. So very disappointing performance from the offense.
Yeah, that offensive line got tore up, man.
Man, them niggas soft. I'm sorry.
that was what really killed. That was what really killed it. Even if Brown doesn't get injured in the what was it, like the second quarter, he got hurt
early in the first.
Early in the first, man.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. So he got hurt early in the first, but the way they were blocking, like that game was chalk from the absolute beginning.
I mean, Byron, I don't want to make you even more upset, but just think about how the start of the year, OSU loses right at midnight in 2023 with the field goal right at midnight, and then they literally end the year with an embarrassing performance against Missouri.
I think, me personally, I think this loss is worse than the one against Georgia because we were competitive.
Oh, yeah.
But this one, we look soft as baby shit. Like, our defense played well, and then our defense were showing up even though our offense didn't. But our offense couldn't get it going. Like, they would get a couple plays here and there, but then Missouri's defense would show up, and like the announcers were like alluding that Ryan Day planned to start Devin Brown, so maybe Holtz didn't get as many reps as Devin Brown did. But I feel like in that type of game, even though Devin Brown went down, I feel like Ryan Day didn't open up the playbook. He went more conservative, and I feel like that's his problem in like big games. He plays too conservative. Like, it's the last game of the season. Why not be aggressive? Like, our starting quarterback is not here anymore, so we got to test some people out. Why not open up the playbook and see what we can do and prepare for next season?
Because they got the pieces. They ain't got the fucking pieces that go with it. That's the thing. Like, besides Henderson and Johnson, Ibuka, like, being a number one receiver, how to play number one receiver, being a main route runner, like, if he's not breaking open over the coverage, that man's just sitting back there waiting to get sacked.
And back to what Cedric said earlier, that I feel like it was more an execution thing than a game plan thing because Brown got hurt and the offensive line couldn't block. So he can't even open up the playbook with a third string quarterback if the other pieces around him aren't doing their job. So I can't really put that on Ryan Day. That's more of a offensive line issue, third string quarterback. Yeah, we ain't gonna open up the playbook because it's only gonna be disaster if they can't block and the third string quarterback don't know what to do with it. And Ibuka is the number one receiver in the game and he's not getting open. So yeah, I think it was more of an execution than a game plan problem. I mean, Missouri just fucked up everything they wanted to do, honestly.
Yeah, and then go ahead, Cedric.
But I will spin it back though with one thing: like the entire game, your offensive line is playing like shit, and you are the head coach watching your offensive line play like shit. The starting quarterback you put in there gets injured because they're not protecting him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what conversations were had at halftime, but I know nothing changed. So that I don't know what the fuck's going to look like next year because I don't know who of them soft ass niggas is coming back.
Well, it's kind of crazy. Well, it's kind of crazy too because obviously Iowa beat this, but at a point in time, Justin told us at the beginning of the year, Ohio State was the lowest scoring team in the damn bowl season.
Lowest scoring in the New Year's Six.
In the New Year's Six, yeah, but then Iowa dropped a 0 egg.
But they don't have an offense, so, you know. Like.
Right. Fun fact about Iowa, every ranked team they played this year, they scored 0 points.
I mean, at the time, well, Iowa is not, the Capital One Bowl is a New Year's Six Bowl. That was that's just on New Year's Day. But the actual lowest scoring team in New Year's Six was Florida State. They ain't fucking play nobody.
Iowa scored 0.
I'm still saying Ohio State. Yeah, Florida State didn't score, right?
Oh, Florida State scored 3.
They scored 3.
Okay, so they tied with Florida State then.
Which is even worse, because Florida State, like you said, ain't got nobody.
Yeah, there's 20 plus people who said out that. But Byron also said our starting quarterback was gone because that happened while we were away. That happened on a Monday that out of the blue, the starting quarterback for Ohio State entered the transfer portal. Kyle McCord, he entered the portal. We haven't gotten a chance to talk about it on this forum. I'll just go first real quick. I was just personally shocked because was the starting quarterback, and it was literally like Monday before a work day. So it was just wild, man. I was driving to work. It wasn't even 7 a.m. yet.
Yeah, I
said
was
before a work day. Like that nigga works 9 to 5 too.
I was just shocked, man. Like, you're the starter. Like, he went on a podcast recently, just said it was a business decision. People are saying that Ryan was going to go get a quarterback in the portal or whatever, compete, but he just left. And yeah, Byron, what are your thoughts?
I was shocked when the news first came out because didn't expect him to transfer, let alone end up going to Syracuse Orange. But then I was more shocked about the conversation, like alleged conversation him and Day had about him not being confirmed as a starter for next year. I'm like, go out there and compete, dude. Like, I guess you're probably guaranteed to be the starter at Syracuse, but I mean, you're in a Power 5 conference. I guess Syracuse is ACC, but I don't know. I just felt wrong with him not wanting to compete for the starting job.
Another alleged thing is also he wanted more NIL money.
Right. I don't know how you're going to get more NIL money from Syracuse, but go ahead.
Justin, what were your thoughts?
I wasn't necessarily surprised about the decision because I knew, first of all, the whole fan base is blaming him for the season. Everyone. They're all blaming for the season. And I think that obviously he made a business decision. He thought that if he thinks that he can get more money somewhere else, who am I to say that he shouldn't test those waters out? Mm-hmm. But I think it came from Ryan Day. I think he said, hey, listen, like, your spot is not guaranteed. We gonna be bringing some people in. We're bringing in recruits in. So, like, the job ain't yours. You know, Common Core did what we had to do.
It's also funny, too, that the quarterbacks that the fandom thought Ryan was going to be brought in, they were all gone within a week. Like, DJ left, Cam Ward went to all the quarterbacks thought were coming in. Obviously, we got one, but he was not who we expected. But they all left. They went different places. Cedric, what were your thoughts?
I was more along the lines with Justin. I wasn't really shocked to seeing how the season's kind of played out for him and the kind of, I won't say backlash. I'll say the kind of review the fans have given him in his performance, even with winning games or playing well to standards of he's not turning up the ball a fuck ton. People are still like, we'd rather have someone else. And so in my mind, I can't be upset with the guy who acknowledges his own personal, like, I know I'm not going to, I have to compete here. So that means there's potential money out of my pocket if I don't get the starting position because the fan base doesn't like me. They're blaming me for a lot of these mistakes that are happening. And then two, shit, I can get money somewhere else and I can play all fucking season. And so that's more exposure, potential more film. I don't know if Buddy has a plan to go to the next level. I don't know if he's ready. I don't think he'll get picked up from Syracuse, but hey, crazier things have happened. You never know.
I think it's crazy with the fandom point because, like you and Justin said, how everyone blames him. This is a guy who threw 24 touchdowns and only had 6 picks and threw for 3,000 yards.
But yet the entire Twitterverse and all the world is like, we want Quinn Ewers back.
He didn't want to deal with all that bullshit. I mean, fuck. If he can go up to Syracuse,
why can't we have a better quarterback? It's like, man, why can we bring CJ back for another year? Like, all that same shit you're saying, like, he's doing all that shit, scoring touchdowns, winning games. People still bitching and moaning about this too.
And I'm really going to go in on that during the national title talk, but you're right, Justin. You're right.
If he can go up to Syracuse and chill, not have the pressure of being an OSU quarterback, and just do his thing up there and be anonymous. Like, I'm not going to fault the guy for that. And I already know Ohio State going to have a backup plan. They got motherfuckers coming in. They got recruits coming in. So Ohio State essentially made the decision. Yeah, you're going to compete for your job, and you probably ain't going to win. So get the fuck on out. That's probably how the conversation went. I don't think
during the Michigan game they were tweeting about the recruit. that was coming 5-star recruit. Like they're tweeting him in Ohio State jerseys while this nigga's still on the field. Like,
my biggest problem with that is I don't care. It could be fucking Vince Young back there. Your quarterback's not going to do anything if the line is that ass.
Were they playing that? Were they bad all season long?
Well,
I feel like that was.
It comes back to the thing, Justin. It looks a whole lot different when your real starting quarterback and Marvin Harrison ain't playing.
Yeah.
Well, that's a motivational thing. That's what I'm saying. That's why I say they're soft as shit, because that's a heart thing. Like
I just think they didn't show up against Missouri. They could have blocked those guys. They didn't want to play, honestly.
Or does it show how good we really were?
I mean, it's a reflection on the coaching, honestly. But
yeah, like, does it really show who we really were when we didn't have? Because just like you said, the Twitterverse, Cedric. Also, the Twitterverse, Buckeye fans are fickle, man. That same night, they're like, damn, maybe we owe Kyle McCord an apology. Man, this is bad. The same fans.
I'm not going to sit here and pretend like two main pieces of your offense don't make a difference in a game, because I know for a fact 20 fucking pieces make a difference in one of the games we're about to talk about here in a minute. But do I feel like the root of the issue is that all the starting linemen played? Them niggas just didn't want to block because they didn't want to be there like that. They were soft as shit because they didn't have heart. Well, now, the rest of the shit is just a result of them also not. That's another layer of like, not only do we not have our good pieces for our offense, but we also ain't got the time to fucking work some shit out.
So, real quickly on that, like we said about the other game, and this is 2 years in a row, and this is actually going back to Justin's point of culture. 2 years ago, wow, it's already been 2 years. Alabama, they lost the 2 games. They lost to Hyatt, and then they lost to LSU. Their bowl game came. It was on New Year's Day or whatever. The number 1 and number 3 overall picks in the draft played. All their top players played. To Justin's thing, culture, coaching. This past year, Georgia, who was on a 29-game losing streak, lost the last game in the SEC championship game. Did not make the tournament. Coaching, culture, you can tell they gave a shit. Like, sure, Brock didn't play because he was hurt, but Carson Beck, their starting quarterback, like a lot of these top players still played. And to go back to Justin's thing, man, something's wrong in that locker room. Like, the culture ain't the same, man. If Nick Saban and Kirby can get these top 3 picks to buy in to play in these meaningless games, what the fuck are we doing?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it goes back to Justin's thing.
I said 2 years ago,
means more. It means more in the South.
It definitely means more in the South. And yeah, we've been saying for 2 years, Ohio State gotta get tougher. We gonna talk about, but you saw what Michigan did in the national championship. They played pure Big Ten run tough defensive football.
Justin, experts told me you can't win like that no more.
First of all, this shit starts in the trenches, and if you got 2 sides of the ball, defensive line, the offensive line, that's about that has that tough running mentality, you absolutely can. And the team before Michigan, before they run the back-to-back defending national champs, Georgia, they ain't throwing the ball all over the place. They doing the same thing. Tough football. Inside out trench football.
I mean, yeah, Georgia past 2 years 30-1, and they're going to be right back here next year.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and then I don't know what the fuck Florida State's trying to do leaving the ACC, because there's no place who's going to take you right now. Like, SEC already said no. Like, where are you going to try to go? Like, I don't get that part. But
we can go to the Big Ten.
Bro,
what? It's that ACC contract. Their contract's like tied up until like the 2030s, and it don't pay the money. It's not as big as the SEC or the Big Ten contract.
You're right.
That's why they want out.
Hey, keep winning. But yeah, I mean, Georgia 60. 2 straight years they scored 60 in their last game of the season, because I think they put 60 on TCU last year, 60 or 50 something, high 50s. Then they put 63 on Florida State. I mean, the second quarter, Georgia scored 35 points.
That's insane.
They weren't pissing around.
We're not.
They were mad. Like they went in with completely opposite mindsets. Florida State still pouting they didn't get in. All those players sitting out. Georgia's like, okay, we're gonna remind you what's coming back next year. And I think that's what got people more mad about Ohio State because the past couple of years, these games that we've had has showcased the next star. Like there was one that showcased Jackson Smith and Jigba. The one that showcased Marvin Harrison because like the regular season he only had like 10 catches, but then he had the 3. But this bowl game, we did not see a new star. We're like, damn, this is what we're coming back with next year, and we got to go to Oregon early.
Yeah, I think that's also what makes it disappointing is that we didn't get those stars to say, oh, okay, I'm confident in Ohio State next year because we have this wide receiver going off or this quarterback going off. We didn't get a chance to see that like we normally do.
Yeah, we'll see. But speaking of, Justin brought up Michigan. We had the semifinal games. Rose Bowl, Michigan 27, Alabama 20, Washington 37, Texas 31. Rose Bowl had 7.2 million viewers, man. Peaked at 32.8. Sugar Bowl was at 18.4, and that ended at past 1 a.m.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, that game was on fucking late, man.
And that one peaked at 24.5. I mean, both these games, I think this was the first time we've had 2 really close semifinal games in recent. Like usually one's close, and then usually another one's an ass whooping. But both these games, I mean, were good.
Because TCU blew out Michigan last year, didn't they?
No, technically, no. Last year was close. You were right. No, that was a close one because it came down to the final play.
Nah, Michigan started comeback.
Yep. Because TCU was cool. Oh, they were cooking.
I remember that game. I was sleeping. They were up by like 21-0 when I woke up. I was like, what the hell?
But man, the first game, man, Michigan beating Alabama in OT. Michigan almost fumbled that. But Justin, you talked about trenches. Michigan was in that backfield. Is going to be the story of the pond. They were in the backfield the whole time, man.
Yeah, that game, that Rose Bowl, Alabama could not block.
No.
A soul for Michigan. Like, they could not block it. But then they come out in the third quarter and, they start to get some momentum a little bit in that third quarter and start running the ball more. And, like, that was the adjustment from the first half. They literally just stopped dropping Miro back because they couldn't block him. And Miro just can't make, he doesn't make the right decision most of the time. And it looked like Alabama was going to find a way to win that game until Miro fumbled.
Yeah,
and
that
all the momentum went right back to Michigan.
That last call of the game in the OT, which, funny enough, that center is coming to Ohio State. Don't know how I feel about that. Just got blew up on that 4th down and goal in overtime. And Justin, you talked about the crazy Ohio State fans. Can you imagine if we were in a game like that against Michigan and our quarterback only threw for 116 yards? Because that's all Jalen Miro threw for, 116.
I'm telling you think OSU fans are bad. The Alabama fans are worse.
But he ain't going to get run out of town. He's going to be right back there next year as a Heisman finalist preseason. He's a sophomore.
He's only a sophomore, but they have some work to do with him because at the end of the day, he's not a drop back passer. So that makes Alabama one dimensional.
Hey, it's a good thing he has experience with that, winning a title with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, they got to figure that out with Milroe. Milroe has to get better, and like you say, he's a sophomore, so I expect he will get better. But yeah, Michigan defense was just too much for him to handle. A quarterback who can't throw.
We've seen it before with Nick. Man, it's the fact that a lot of these people are going to be back,
and Nick Saban with Jalen Hurts, he had to bench him for someone who can throw the ball.
A freshman, named Tua to Devontae Smith. Like, you make those calls, man, and then Jalen didn't, and then he left after a year after. But then when Tua got hurt, Jalen came in that SEC championship game, beat Georgia. That was the year they lost to Trevor Lawrence's Clemson. So it's crazy, man. Like, they'll be right back. Cedric, what did you think of Saban going down to Harbaugh?
Time had came. I mean, Michigan played the fuck their fucking hearts out that game. As much as it pains me, J.J. McCarthy balled out.
Yeah.
I mean, Saban going down to Harbaugh, I mean, meh.
And Michigan wanted to give Alabama the win so bad. So bad.
Yes.
So bad.
Special teams just piss poor. Piss poor. I mean, nothing pumps. That guy. Imagine if that Michigan player doesn't get on the ball that one, and that shit is a safety. Just imagine. Oh my God. He wouldn't have made it back to Ann Arbor. They would have been a mob waiting for him as soon as he got off that damn plane. If he was the reason why they lost that game on a goddamn safety. Yeah, Michigan beat Alabama and themselves that game and their own special teams. Yeah, that was an impressive one for sure.
And then you follow the next game with the shootout with Texas and Washington. And I mean, we've been on the Washington thing all pod for this entire year. Penix had 430 and 2 TDs. Quinn had 318 and 1 TD. They went back and forth in this game, and Washington came out on top literally on the last play because Washington was almost giving that shit up too. Yes. And they got lucky at the end, but Justin, another great game. This was a great game.
It was a good game. Texas just didn't have the guys in the secondary to handle those Washington receivers. That was the story of the game.
Over 100 yards receiving. Both two over 100 yards receiving. That's fucking nuts.
I mean, Penix the whole game was dropping back, had all day to throw. Texas got no pressure whatsoever. Penix wasn't sacked once in the game, and he was just dropping dimes, doing what pretty much letting the world know what he was doing all season.
Yeah, because it's funny how Heisman voters were saying, "Oh my God, I did not know this guy was this good." What? Then how are you allowed to vote on the fucking award?
Facts.
But whatever. But Justin, you just talked about, and Cedric, you just brought up how the receivers, they couldn't stop any receivers. You know how you stop good receivers? You don't let the quarterback throw the ball. And that's what Michigan did. Championship game, undefeated Washington, undefeated Michigan. Not going to lie, I thought Michigan was going to blow them out by 50 in those first couple minutes. Like, it was bad. Donovan, I'm like, when I was watching it, and that was with Cedric Byron, I was starting to think of 2022 already, 2022 in the horseshoe, where Edwards started running crazy on Ohio State.
Yep, had those two long-ass touchdowns against Ohio State. He had 2 long-ass touchdowns against Washington. He ran for 104 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then Blake Corum, also 134 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Like, both their star running backs just went off against Washington. Definitely reminded me of that Ohio State game a couple years ago.
But to Washington's credit, they fought. They hung the course. They were only down a touchdown for the longest time until that fourth quarter. Michigan scored 14 points in the fourth quarter. Washington scored none. I know a lot of, especially football and sports, it's like 3 plays that can defy a whole game. When Penix threw that bomb and it got called back for a holding, that was it. That was it, man.
They were dropping passes too.
Oh yeah. They were playing like Kansas City.
They were dropping some passes, some game-changing passes, like
that. The drop passes, that holding call, and when they were still down 7 at this call. When they had Michigan pinned on the goal line and they let McCarthy run for 30 yards. Those are the 3 plays. That
was in the fourth quarter. That's when I knew. That's when I got ready to put the bet in for Michigan at that point. But like I said, Washington's credit, quarters 2 and 3, Michigan ain't do fucking shit. They couldn't move the ball. They held Michigan 1 for 10 on like 3rd down. So I mean, their defense did enough between the 20s. It was just some of the big run plays is what killed them in the first quarter. And that honestly was the difference in the game. And then the fourth quarter, obviously, JJ running the ball, what Michigan's been doing all year. If it's the running backs or JJ McCarthy in a big spot, especially McCarthy in big spots.
We've seen that in Columbus too.
Yeah, he's always due for a big run and late in the game to move the chain. So, yeah, I mean, Michigan came out performing. I mean, Washington didn't go down like no hose or something. Like they definitely came to play. Just couldn't get out their own way and just didn't have the horses up front to really handle Michigan's defensive line. Because they were getting there before, too. They weren't even blitzing.
And Michigan, to the coaching and all of that, too. When Washington kept knocking on that door, and Michigan didn't panic, they kept the same game plan. We are going to run this ball. McCarthy only threw 18 times, 440 yards. That's it.
Yep.
But he didn't make any stupid decisions. He didn't play outside of himself. And then Cedric, man, Penix had to throw 51 times, but every time he dropped back, he was fighting for his life.
Man, that shit. That offensive man, Michigan's defensive line was bullying that offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, because I'm the guy that's here to talk about people making money on the side. There's some conspiracy going on. Number 73 from Washington. I just want to know how much money you made letting them niggas blow you up like that. There was one play, this man came off the ball so late, the guy's already around him. He's like, put an arm out, try to grab him. I'm like, bro, what you doing? The ball's been snapped. What is you up to? Like,
who's 73? Is he one of the tackles?
Yeah, he was on the right side,
tackle.
right tackle. Bro, Justin, I'm telling you, there was a play. I literally looked, I was like, bro, when you on the line, you can be late, right? You may not get the fast snap because you're the furthest away. But when the guy next to you moves, you will instinctively move. Because they're like, well, shit, he's moving. The guy in front of me is moving. That nigga ain't moving at all.
I mean, Michigan just had those linemen just knew when that snap count was coming. He was just jumping. He was just jumping those snaps. Playing offensive line is difficult, especially when that dude on the edge is first of all he's faster than you. He's more athletic than you, and he knows he knows what's coming. Shit's hard.
That's the thing though. Like he got beat. The guys lined up in front of him, beating him around the edge.
It happens.
Also to Byron's thing, because this guy also emerged. Who this man is also a sophomore. Mr. Loveland, the tight end for Michigan. In the fourth quarter, he started getting loose, just like he was getting loose against Ohio State.
That nigga knows that, so.
Yeah, 3 receptions for 64 yards. His longest was 41 yards, and I believe that was
in the fourth quarter.
In the fourth quarter, just wide open. At that point, I was like, yeah, it's over for you, Washington.
But Justin already gave the formula, man. This was mid 2000s football. Run game, dominant. Defensive line, dominant. Quarterback, make no mistakes. Game over.
I mean, 303 yards rushing, 8 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts. That's fucking nuts.
You can't beat teams who do that.
Nope.
If you run the ball and get 8 yards a carry, you are controlling that game. You are running that game. That's very hard to beat. If you can get 8 yards a carry in a football game.
It's crazy. Michigan wins their first national championship since 1997. Harbaugh was hired in 2015. He delivered this championship. And we brought this up, I think, a couple podcasts ago. What the hell does this say about Ohio State with Michigan win this title? Because when Harbaugh came in, I think Justin was the one who brought that up. When Harbaugh came in, Michigan was a fucking mess. Mess. When Ryan Day took over, we were still it was right after Urban, so it was really thriving. And we've had more chances to win that championship. We haven't. Harbaugh, 3 straight times in the playoffs, 3rd time the chart, wins the title. He beats Alabama, Ohio State, Alabama, Washington. And you could throw Iowa in there because they played in the Big Ten championship. But
stop.
No one's throwing Iowa in there.
Iowa's about to have a top 10 corner picked in the draft, and he's white.
That's what Iowa does. What do you mean?
They're the defensive school, just not offense.
Yeah, they need some, but
defense and tight ends. You know what the fuck's going on with Iowa? And occasionally they'll get a good offensive lineman in that bitch.
They need a decent quarterback. But what does that say, man? Like Byron. I remember the times where Iowa was the number 3 ranked team in the country.
Bro, they had
and they still couldn't move the ball. Get out of here.
They picked up Cade McNamara from Michigan. That
was a bad. I don't know what they were doing there. But Byron, how does that make you feel, man? Like Harbaugh got this title before Day.
It sucks. I'm just not gonna sugarcoat it. It sucks. Like we've had chance like last year, that last missed field goal, we could have went to the championship against TCU. Probably would have beat them. And won our 2nd national championship in the playoff era, but it just sucks I don't know where we go from here. I don't know what we're going to do next year. We don't know who our starting quarterback is. We don't know if Travion Henderson is coming back next year. He still hasn't decided if he's going to the draft or not. But congratulations to Michigan. But Ryan Day, you gotta get together, man. This is some bullshit.
Justin, the pressure's really on now. It's really on because they just got a natty.
Yeah, I mean the pressure's on. I mean Michigan's been, it's been since 2015. They've been trying, and it was looking real rough in 2020 when they went 2-4 and canceled the game. But once they got out of that, they've been in the playoff every single year, and I mean it should light a fire up in Ohio State's ass if we're totally being honest. I mean having your main rival back up there winning national championship, that shit should motivate you. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's necessarily the worst thing in the world for Ohio State to have Michigan good again, because it's definitely going to lit a fire on their ass, to make changes. If Ryan Day ends up not being the guy, they'll find someone in there who can make that shit happen. But I don't think Michigan winning the national championship is the worst thing in the world for Ohio State.
Cedric, what do you think?
I don't think it's terrible. I mean, it sucks comparatively when you put them next to each other on paper, like that the things that Harbaugh was able to accomplish was definitely leaps and bounds above what Day has done, if you consider the conditions of each team that they received at the time they took their postings and their jobs. But honestly, it's not a bad thing to light a fire under someone's ass, though. That's because true. Obviously Harbaugh getting it done definitely just speaks volumes to like how much overhauling work Day has to do. No, and like now it's not even like really a question at all. Day knows he's on the chopping block now. Like that, this championship by Michigan just solidified that literally if he loses to Michigan next year, it's a wrap.
Especially if Harbaugh ain't even there.
Well, it's kind of crazy how this has really become like it really hit national waves, because they really talked about that on First Take, and they really had the nerve to be like, the person who should want Jim Harbaugh gone the most is Ryan Day, because he's been smoking. Like we've gone to that point, and we talk about the Ryan Day thing. Ohio State's always in the top 5 and like top 5, top 3, really in recruiting classes. Michigan, they had the lowest recruiting class of a champion in the CFP era. Their class was 14th.
They won a championship.
Like if you look at since Harbaugh got there, 2015, 37th, 2016, 8th, 2017, 5th, 2018, 22nd, 2019, 8th, 2020, 10th, then 13th, 9th, 17th, and the 2024 class is 15th. He ain't coming in here with 5-star world beaters. He's getting the players who fits his system.
Yeah.
He's getting players who can beat Ohio State. and he is recruiting to beat one team, because obviously what they do is good enough for the Big Ten to beat the rest of the teams in the Big Ten.
Yep. What were you going to say, Byron?
Yeah, 1 year where he's 5th in the top 5 was that
2017 was recruiting class was 5th.
That was his best class. And wow, and you took a championship ranked 14th. That's crazy.
It's wild too, because Michigan 15-0. In the 14 playoff era, joined 2019 LSU, 2022 Georgia, 2018 Clemson. McCarthy now is literally a Michigan legend, solidified. 27-1 as a starter, 3-0 against Ohio State, 3 Big Ten titles, 3 trips to the CFP, and a national champion. And then to go to the Kyle McCarthy that was really going to get on about. These are the last 3 quarterbacks to win the national championship: Stetson Bennett, J.J. McCarthy, and Mac Jones. Those aren't really world-beating quarterbacks.
No. Stetson Bennett is with the Rams. He doesn't even play. Mac Jones sucks with the Patriots. And who was the last one?
J.J. McCarthy.
Oh, J.J. And we'll figure out what J.J. does in the NFL if he goes.
Well, Mac Jones was throwing the stars on the outside, and he was good in college. Mac Jones was a good college quarterback.
Well, all these quarterbacks are good college quarterbacks, but
Georgia's defense was the stars of those teams.
No, Brock Bowers is still there too. But.
Yeah, and Brock Bowers were there, so it's not like these are Heisman winners or the absolute best quarterbacks here now.
But that's what Ohio State thinks we need a Heisman winner to win a natty. When the past 3 champions have showed that if you get all these teams were tough. If you get a good offensive, defensive line and stars. Because Justin, we've had the stars around, but we haven't won, and they're winning with Stenton. Come on, man. JJ, Ohio State quarterback will get crucified if he won a game and he only threw 140 yards.
Yes.
Yeah, because our fans aren't happy. Our fans are fucking greedy. These niggas won 300 yards passing and
every game
4 touchdowns. Them niggas is delusional.
I mean, Ryan Day's offense is a little different than Urban's. Urban's spread offense, was a run offense. Mm-hmm. Like you're running the quarterback, you're using the running backs a lot. Mm-hmm. And then we didn't start having these wide open, throw it down the field offenses like that until Ryan Day got there. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of got away historically of what Ohio State really does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my thing is like McCord has comparable numbers to all of those quarterbacks who won the title recently.
And the fans said, "Get out."
The fans said, "Get out."
Yep.
That's the wildest shit. Like you need the whole supporting cast, and if you don't have a good line, it's over. You stand no chance.
And then those Ohio State teams that were going over those other teams that won while Ohio State was not winning, the defense was terrible.
Yeah.
The
defense was horrible, so they didn't have that side of the ball taken care of.
Well, 2019 is that was the best shot.
Yeah,
that's probably one of the best teams I've ever seen, and they have nothing to show for it.
Yeah, since before this season, the defense was the question mark.
Yep,
the defense was the absolute question. It was not a national championship winning defense at all. And the one year that we do have something like that, the offense, was hit and miss. And honestly, not even really hit and miss. You just couldn't fucking beat Michigan.
Yep.
That's what it honestly boils down to.
I know it's kind of crazy. We forget that Kyle McCord drove literally that game-winning drive across the entire field to win the game against Notre Dame in like his 3rd start at night on prime time. But
they don't give a fuck. He lost to Michigan.
I understand. That's the culture here. I understand. Thanks to Michigan, it pushed the Big Ten's record over 500 in the bowl games because most of the ranked bowl Big Ten teams were getting killed. So that was nice. Michigan pushed them to 6-4. So good on to Michigan. Next year, we're going to talk about this a lot next year, but since it's going to 12 teams, this schedule is crazy. Like the first round starts on December 20th, and the championship game isn't until Martin Luther King Day.
Hey.
Wow. They're going to be playing with the NFL,
so they get a couple weeks. So you're going to get a couple weeks off before the shit even starts. Then, if it's December 20th,
yeah, December 20th. So you'll have the Big Ten, all those championships, like the first week of December. December 20th is the first round. Then the Fiesta Bowl quarterfinals is New Year's Eve. Then the Peach Rolls or Sugar Bowl quarterfinals are on New Year's Day. Orange Bowl semifinal January 9th. Cotton Bowl semifinal January 10th, and then Atlanta, Georgia for the championship January 20th. So college football going to be a lot longer. Justin, there's going to be, what's that going to be, like 4? You might have you might have to win 4 or 5 games in December.
I am so fucking excited for this CFP 12 team shit because it's honestly what they should have been doing all along. I don't know why it took us over 150 years to get to this point. Think about that. Think about that. They've been doing college football for over 150 years at the FBS level, and we are just now in our year 2024 are about to get a 12-team playoff. FCS has been doing that shit for years.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how you look at the CFP winners. Like the first winner was Ohio State, the last winner was Michigan. The Big Ten teams, the only Big Ten teams to win, they went Ohio State. And then we had the Clemson, Alabama rivalry, Alabama, Clemson, Joe Burrow's LSU, Alabama again, then the years of Georgia, 21-22, then Michigan. in the 10-year CFP of 4 teams.
Ain't
Now we're
that many
going to
teams?
12.
Ain't that many teams? Who the Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson,
Georgia,
LSU, Georgia, and
Michigan.
It's only 6 teams.
Yeah, and
In 10
Alabama
years.
and Alabama counts for 1, 2, 3 of the 10 years. Georgia counts for 2. Clemson counts for 2. And then OSU, LSU, and Michigan count for 1.
Yeah.
And we'll be 12 team. It's
Hold on. You said Alabama 3, 2, 2.
Yeah, Alabama has 2015, 17, and 2020. And then Georgia has 2021, 2022. Remember, they were back to back.
Oh, that's right. You said LSU, Michigan, and Ohio State are 1.
Yeah, each of us have 1.
Okay.
Each of us got 1. Yeah. Which is kind of crazy. We were the first ones, and Michigan was the last of the 4 team.
Yeah.
But any final thoughts on this college football season?
It was a great season. Again, congrats to Michigan. I enjoyed a lot of footballs, a lot of chaos at times, but it was a good football season. Excited to see what 2024, 2025 holds for college football.
Justin, is Will Howard going to be the starting quarterback, the transfer from Kansas State, or is it going to be your guy, Aaron Nolan?
We'll see. I'm interested to see what OSU's trying to do. They got that tight end from Ohio. Quinshon Junkins from Ole Miss.
Transfer right after the game.
Yeah, which is something, because I was reading, because I was kind of shocked, because Junkins is he's over the past 2 years, no one has rushed for more yards in the FBS than that man. So it was interesting to see why he was leaving. I know why. He was trying to get more money, and the Ole Miss ain't want to pay him. That's what it sounded like reading the Ole Miss people's side of the situation. But if Travion Henderson stays around and you got Will Howard, Henderson, Junkins, that's an offense that's ready to run the ball. That's going to look like, that's an Urban Meyer type of backfield, 2 running backs with a running quarterback. So yeah, I'm interested to see what they do for sure, because those 2 transfer pickups are it seems like they might have a plan of what they're trying to do back there.
Cedric,
it's a good season.
Not to some of these fans.
Hey, I stopped caring about them niggas a long time ago.
Oh man, it's so funny, because you'll have idiots like, oh well, this game doesn't matter, and then when OSU loses, I can't believe they freaking won. I'm like, wait, you can't have both, man. But bonus
cake and eat it too,
bro. Bonus thing, because we won't be able to record one, so these will be after the facts. Since Justin and I just recorded the thing last week, the NFL playoffs start this Saturday. Justin, Steelers did get in at. I was like, it's coming, but real quick.
I mean, we should have just called it last week, because we already said Jacksonville was losing. That's why. Yep. That's why they got in.
And they're embarrassing. They're so bad.
Crazy.
But we're just gonna make some NFL wildcard picks, and then Justin and I will review them and talk about them next week, because we're not recording NFL. All right, Texans, Browns. Justin, who you got?
Texans, Browns. Texans have the home game. CJ Stroud's first game starting at quarterback. I think I'm going to go Flacco and the Browns here. Typically, first-year starting quarterbacks have a tough time in the playoffs, and Cleveland's defense is really good. Flacco is going to turn that bitch over a little bit, but I think the Browns overcome it. And CJ Stroud's first playoff start.
Yeah, I'm taking Myles Garrett. He's playing, so. Byron?
I really want to take Texans because of CJ Stroud. Having a great rookie season, over 4,000 passing yards, 23 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, but that Browns defense is scary, so I'm going Browns.
Cedric?
I'm going Browns. I like that Browns secondary. I think right now it's they're on fire. The best secondary I've seen at this point of the season. So
Chiefs versus the Dolphins. The Dolphins lost to the Bills, which Justin and I said was 100% going to happen, by the way. They're going to Arrowhead. We didn't get because of the Steelers winning, it changed the matchups that we thought were going to happen. Justin, who you got in this?
I have to go with Kansas City. They got the home game, and it's about to be fucking freezing there. And the Dolphins historically do not do well in the cold, and the whole goddamn team is hurt. So yeah, just a collapse for the Dolphins on Sunday. If they find a way to beat the Bills, Josh Allen gave them opportunities to win that game. I mean, he did. He was throwing the ball over left and right. It was the full Josh Allen experience. Like he was trying to fucking get that shit to him, but Bills showed up and got the win, and is forcing Miami to go on the road to Kansas City, and I don't think they're going to be able to go in there and get the dub, so I gotta go with Kansas City here. Peacock exclusive, by the way.
Oh yeah, they did that, so the Swifties have to pay.
Y'all better steal that.
straight.
Cedric, who you got?
I'm going with the Chiefs. I think this is the time for them to quiet some hate that's been going on, some questions about what they're going to do in the postseason. This is a good chance for them to get a nice quick win. It's going to be cold as fuck, like Justin said. Kansas City is cold as shit in the wintertime, so
they saying like negatives, like 1.
Yes.
Yeah, it's about to be like that.
Okay. Byron?
I'm going Chiefs. Yeah. I'm going Chiefs.
A long time ago in November, I said the Chiefs were ass, respectfully, to their standards.
Mm-hmm.
And they have been. And I'm going to be wrong on this, but I got to keep the wave. Kansas is going fucking home. Tell them Swifties.
Don't do it, bro. Not this game. Not this game.
You're talking about being cold. Are those receivers going to be able to catch in the cold?
No, but they still have Patrick Mahomes and they still got Pacheco. They're going to find a way. They're going to find a way.
Kelsey.
This ain't the one.
Right. Cleveland man.
This ain't the one.
Cold.
Nah, I don't care. They're going home this week or next week. They ain't making it past these 2 weeks, and I'm picking against them every time. So
just say next week, because I promise you, it ain't gonna happen this week.
Bro, if Waddle,
listen, as long as you keep picking against them, you'll be right.
Yeah,
at some point.
True.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
At some point, you'll be right.
Pure bet Chief money line on the side.
You don't say that. You don't say that when we recording.
Okay. But no, I just feel, bro, if I need to know if Waddle's coming back, I need to know if Mostart's coming back. I really hate the Chiefs this year, bro. They've been terrible.
They have too many injuries, bro. Like
I know.
I just don't think. I don't know.
I have to pick one upset because I don't think any of my other ones are upsets. Because this ain't all going chalk. We all know this.
I mean, I know, but
someone is going to be bad.
I don't think it's going to be the Chiefs. I don't think they get got yet. Next week, definitely, but not this week. Not this Dolphins team.
Fins up, baby.
All their starters are.
You said fins up.
Or fins up.
I mean, they have so many injuries. I mean, defensively, Chubb.
I know it's bad.
Chubb, Van Ginkel, Mostert, Waddle, Tyreek Hill's limping around like.
Yeah, it's like betting, man. You can't pick all favorites because it's never going to work.
Oh, I know, but
that doesn't mean you just pick the random ass niggas to
win. We'll see. Because the next game, if TJ Watt was playing, I would have picked the Steelers, but he ain't playing, so I gotta go. Oh my god, I'm already gonna say this, and Justin knows I hate this team more than I hate the Chiefs. I think the Bills are going to the AFC Championship game.
Really?
I thought you were just picking the wild card. I didn't know you was going.
No, I'm saying this. I just the way they're playing.
I know you was going to send them like that.
They're winning now, and it's annoying. But yeah, the Bills are going to beat the Steelers, and it might be bad.
Yeah, if this game didn't already move from 7 to 10.
Jesus, 10?
Yeah, I will be betting the Bills. Like, I'll be hammering the Bills, and I still might, because I think the Bills are going to get after the fucking Steelers at home, and the Steelers honestly fucking shouldn't be there, and TJ Watt's not playing. So, yeah, the Bills here, and potentially, I'm taking them against the spread, laying 10 points. So, yeah, I'm with the Bills here. This has the feelings of that playoff game when Mac Jones got in, you know what the Bills did to them at home.
Yeah.
Byron has that written all over it.
This is the Steelers, Justin, who magically got 10 wins.
Respect. Hey, I have no slander for Mike Tomlin. I love that man, but this team is not about to go into Buffalo and beat Josh Allen.
No. Byron?
I'm going Bills.
Okay. Nice and easy.
Nice and easy. Only because I might have changed because of TJ Watt because he's a defensive stalwart, but he's injured. Got injured against the Ravens, which sucks, but I don't know who else plays defense on the Steelers, so I'm going Bills.
Cedric?
Going Bills.
Okay. Old school game right here. Justin, gotta give you credit. I'll give you more credit next week after I fully listen to the first episode. You did say that the Cowboys were going to get the 2 seed in August. They got the 2 seed. So congrats on that.
Thanks, Philly.
Cowboys versus Packers. Shout out to Jordan Love, his first year as a starter, getting his team in the playoffs. But I ask Justin this almost every other week. I don't know what the hell is awoken in CeeDee Lamb. No one can stop that man.
Second in the league in receiving yards. Tyreek Hill just beat him on Sunday. But yeah, I'm going Cowboys here. Got 2 home games so we can win this game. And Packers are a young team. I do think they're going to be able to move the ball. They're a 7.5 point dog. I think I might bet the Packers, but I think Cowboys win this game.
Cedric, Byron, you guys thinking Cowboys as well? You thinking Packers?
I'm thinking Cowboys because of their defense. I don't think Jordan Love has faced a defense like the Cowboys, especially his first year starting. So they're going to give him different looks. So Cowboys. Cedric. And then Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb have been going off the last couple of games.
Fuck them niggas. I hate them so much.
Oh shit!
But they gonna fucking win. And look, we can talk about Jordan Love, first year starter. Yeah, young team. Yeah, Cowboys defense great. CeeDee Lamb's fucking amazing. Yeah. I get it. They're also fucking home.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna really. They're gonna shit. Like I hate they're gonna shit on the fucking Packers. Like it is what it is. I don't think you guys have had this entire season. Have you guys won a game by less than 14 points at home?
Yeah, the Seahawks game, we were fucking around that game. We only won that by 3.
All right, yeah, we cool. I may fucking man. If y'all niggas don't make me no money, y'all really some hoes. That's all I know. I feel better y'all niggas too. If y'all make me no money, y'all some hoes.
It's 7.5. If it was under 7, I would bet the Cowboys. I would tell you to bet the Cowboys.
Bro, I am betting y'all niggas. Listen. The amount of times y'all done blown out all these motherfucking other teams, and you gonna tell me we can't beat them by more than 7.5 points, man? I don't want to hear that.
Moore's a good coach, man. He got those niggas together.
I don't know how the Packers are in. Like this is the same team Rodgers had.
Yeah, he got them together. Yeah.
And Rodgers lost the win in your end game and won it, but
against the Lions.
Speaking of the Lions, this is I think the best wild card game. Lions versus Rams. Woo!
I cannot wait for this one. Oh my God.
Justin, who you got in this bad boy? Matt Stafford returning to
Detroit. My God. This is like the
Goff Lions gets to play against the Rams.
This is their first home playoff game in fucking 10 years or something crazy like that.
That's why the tickets are so high.
Which is a goddamn shame, but hey, they paying for him in Detroit. I bet the Rams when it was 3.5. And I think the Rams are going to go up in there and get the job done. Puka, Cooper Kupp, Matt Stafford back where he started his career.
Kyron Williams.
That Lions defense is not good. It's definitely going to be a shootout. I like the over, even though it is 51.5. It's high, but I think we're going to get over a game. The Lions lost their star rookie Iowa product tight end Sam Laporta last week. He was a big part of that offense. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Rams here on the road.
Cedric.
Man, I like the Rams. I like the Rams in this matchup. I mean, Jared Goff's at home. He plays better at home. But Sam Laporta, like Justin said, is a really big part of that offense in the passing game.
He's good. He's good.
Like, they got two dual backs, but, like, the season hasn't, like, they never really gotten the job done with just running the ball. They have to throw the ball. And I don't know how that offense works without Laporta as a target out there on the field. So
it's a good thing they got Byron's man, Amon St. Brown. You still rolling with them?
Amon St. Brown was my guy. I hate the Rams. It's known that I hate the Rams. But I do respect Kyron Williams and Puka Nacua. They actually helped me win my other fantasy football league. I'm about to go Lions, man.
okay. You got Aiden Hutchinson. That's dope.
He's good.
He is good.
Man, I think. What's the spread?
Right now it's 3. I got the Rams at 3.5 though.
That's a win by more than field goal. Yeah, I think the Rams are going to win. I don't think the Rams will win this game. Even though that Detroit crowd's going to be rocking. It is going to be loud. And then the last game of Wild Card Monday night, Justin, a team we had no expectations for in August.
Nope.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Shout out to Baker, man. This team went over 500 and are in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're in the playoffs. They won that dog shit division, the NFC South. And the Eagles just fucking absolutely have collapsed. I don't know what the hell is wrong with them. And now they got players hurt. I know Jalen Hurts dislocated his finger last week. AJ Brown went out with an injury. The offense hasn't been good. The defense has been fucking dog shit. My only questions about the Bucs right now is how healthy is Baker Mayfield? Like, if Baker Mayfield is fully healthy, then it's a no-brainer. I'm picking Tampa. But and with all that said, I don't even care if Baker has a bum ankle. I'm still picking Tampa Bay to win this game. The Eagles have just been too bad. Like, they have not played a winning brand of football in over a month. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, I'm going with Tampa Bay to get this dub.
You know, last time we did the NFL stuff, like, I remember my biggest thing was Chiefs Brew. But Cedric was also right on that, because Cedric was debating with you, Justin, about how Philadelphia really needed that game against Buffalo. Because Cedric foresaw some things, because he's like, we're going to start losing some games. I don't think he knew it was going to be like this. But Cedric, you did say after that Buffalo game that things would start getting rocky.
I mean, that Giants game Sunday was fucking embarrassing.
Yeah,
I mean, that was horrible.
That was bad.
What the hell was that? Y'all had everything to fucking play for in that game and didn't show up whatsoever.
I don't know about that one. Yeah, that was rough. But Cedric?
Man, we fucking suck. I don't know what you want from us, Justin. Shit, nigga, you watched the game.
I
saw what's happening. We've been collapsing for
the
the past month, like you said.
I know.
Nigga, we won. Listen, what happened? I'll tell you what exactly happened the last fucking 6 games of the season. We beat the Chiefs. Our dicks got hard. We're like, yeah, we're good. We're done.
Yeah,
and then we took our good lumpings. Listen, we took our good lumpings against the Niners. We took our expected lumping against the Cowboys. And then we're like, oh, it's cool. We got the rest of this season. We can pick this up. All we got to do is beat the fucking Seahawks, Giants, Cardinals, Giants. Well, guess what we didn't do? We didn't beat the Seahawks. Then we came back, we're like, hey, we still ain't losing to that Tommy DeVito guy, so let's beat him one time. Barely beat them that time. Then we lost to the fucking Cardinals, who I don't even know if they got fucking 5 wins this season. And we got fucking beat by the fucking Cardinals.
Against the Cowboys.
They don't. They only have 4.
I know.
Yeah.
And they beat us. And so, shit, that
you lost them at home, too. At least we lost them at Arizona.
Nigga, I don't give a fuck about where we lost. Nigga, I ain't debating with you about who has a better loss. It don't matter. Neither of us should have lost.
And you got your asses beat, too. I mean,
listen,
dominated.
Look, it's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is, we fucking lost. I'm admitting that shit. I don't give a damn. I hope we lose to the fucking Buccaneers. We don't need to fucking be in this playoffs any longer. Like, get us out of here. Fucking, you didn't mention Devontae Smith's in a fucking boot, so that nigga's not playing. Like,
forgot.
Yeah, no shit. Like, it's what it is. Devontae Smith was in a fucking boot after the fucking Cardinals game. Hence why, again, no options in the job. But we still started. I didn't see DeAndre Swift. I pray to God. Hey, I hope that nigga probably checked out. He probably need a mental health day. I don't blame him. The type of shit of brand of football that is going on in that locker room, I don't know what the fuck is being talked about. All I know is I haven't listened to a Jalen Hurts post-game interview in over a month because the nigga says the same thing. That nigga's on repeat. That nigga's a fucking politician when it comes to losing football games. That's all I know.
You know what? I have a hot take. I have a hot take when you know your rant.
I'm done with my rant. That's it.
So you're picking the Bucks? Yes. Okay.
When Tampa wins this game on Monday, I think I'll need to fire Sirianni and get Vrabel. Yeah, I said it. I know. Last podcast I said Sirianni was safe, but fuck.
Huh?
You know, if they get destroyed like they have been the past 6 weeks, I'll go get Vrabel. I'll give as much money to Vrabel tomorrow.
What? Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what the hell does Nick Sirianni do? What does he do?
Nothing.
He ain't calling plays on offense. He ain't calling plays on defense. He ain't doing shit with the special teams. What the fuck does that man do?
He just talk shit.
Exactly.
That's all he does. Exactly. He just talk shit. That nigga just talk shit. Look, I'm cool with that. Can we give her the whole coaching staff though?
What?
Bro, what? You saying what? Nick, have you seen our
y'all
offense?
just went to the
have
Super
you seen
Bowl.
our secondary?
In week 12, they were 10-1.
Hey, I can't make excuses for him. I'm like, damn, they can't get one more chance?
No.
Chance of what?
Damn.
Well, as a Cowboys fan, I hope they keep him, but Nick Sirianni hasn't done a damn thing. How do you get your team to the Super Bowl and then the next year you have a collapse like this? You were 10-1. You were 10-1. You were 10-1 and then won 2 games for the rest of the year.
One game.
Oh my God.
We won one because we finished 11-6.
Yeah, 11-6.
Yeah, you won one game to end the season off 10-1.
It's fucking embarrassing.
Terrible collapse. It's fireable. It's a fireable offense.
But the crazy thing is, Justin, they get 1 or 2 wins. Everyone's gonna be like, damn. Whatever. They're in the NFC Championship.
Well, no, the crazy thing is Howie's going to keep that nigga because Howie is Howie. Howie's stupid.
I don't know about that. Philadelphia, you know, they'll move off some shitty coaches now. I mean, y'all fired Doug Peterson.
We move off shitty coaches, but you know it takes a minute though. Because that nigga had a fucking winning season, regardless of what we may say. That nigga had a winning season. He went 10-1.
You guys want offense? You can come get Ryan.
Ryan who?
Day.
Stop.
They need Vrabel. They need a tough man because
Justin,
I don't know
he's a tough man too.
Why the hell will Vrabel go back to college?
Oh, absolutely not. But I'm just saying, they need a tough man too. I actually think
because next year all our veterans are going to be retiring. I pray to God that Jason Kelce gets retired. That's my frustration is about. It's like this is how we go out for Jason Kelce.
And he's been asked too.
This is how we go out for Fletcher Cox.
Oh yeah,
this is how we go out for Fletcher Cox. This is how we go out for Brandon Graham. Like lifers who got us to this stage. The veterans team, like it's just I don't know. It's just one of those things like, well, the way the NFL works, if you guys fire him, you guys will end up hiring Josh McDaniels since everyone just gets recycled. Nah, if that happens, I swear to God, me and Howie are going to have a meeting.
They're recycling him with Vrabel.
I think he's going to be gone. I think he'll be picked up by by the end of the week.
No, I don't think Vrabel's just going to take any old job now. He should wait until.
I think he's going to the Falcons.
Falcons or Chargers. Falcons or Chargers. If Jim Harbaugh really ain't going to the Chargers, they're going to get Vrabel quick.
If anything, he'll go to the Chargers. I don't think he's going to go to Atlanta.
Hey, man.
That's a lateral move. I'm going somewhere with a fucking quarterback, and the Chargers have one.
Well, he'll be able to draft one.
That's true.
The Falcons, they have like a top 10 pick.
Byron's looking that up. But even if that, Justin, there's going to be a lot of good quarterbacks. Again, my thing I've said all year, the trade for Fields, Russell Wilson's going to be available. Russell Wilson was not asked when they started moving, when they started doing well.
I don't think Atlanta's a bad job. I think the Chargers might be a better job because you already have Herbert.
Wow. Yeah, that team. Oh, that's something. But Byron, who you got winning this game? Eagles or the Bucks?
I hate the
That's
Bucks,
hard. Bro,
but
stop.
I'm picking the Bucks.
There we go. Thank you.
Damn.
Bro, he's sitting here thinking like it's a hard decision.
Baker Mayfield going to the second round?
Oh, I mean, the Eagles can very well come out and beat the dog shit out the Bucks, but I ain't about to pick that.
What happens if we have a Baker
with
Mayfield
what
3-pick
offense?
game?
With what offense?
Yeah, it depends on
catching the
like
ball?
if Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown play on Monday. If they don't,
It's over.
definitely Bucks are probably winning. 'Cause I don't even, who's the backup for you? Backup quarterback, Cedric.
Mariota.
Oh,
Yeah, we dookie.
Hey, remember that time
That's
frame
strong
where AJ
shit.
Brown had like what was it, Justin? 3-4 straight games of 125?
What the hell happened to him? He was going the fuck off. I had him for fantasy in one of my other leagues, bro.
I'll tell you exactly what happened.
We're off a cliff.
The offensive coordinator is like, you know what? We're going to try the same scheme, but we're going to throw to Devontae Smith
And then
4 games in a row. And then we're going to try doing it to Goddard for 3 games.
On a side
And
note,
you know-
go ahead, Cedric. Go ahead.
It's just terrible. It's terrible offensive play calling. I don't know what the fuck. Who got high before the game started trying shit and trying shit and trying shit and trying shit, switch it up, trying shit and trying shit is unnecessary.
Hot take: Mike Evans a top 5 receiver in the league. I'm tired of the disrespect.
yes.
He gets 1,000-yard seasons for ass quarterbacks. No disrespect to everyone besides Tom
right
Brady.
now. I don't think he is
Bro,
right now.
1,000 yards every year with these. Look at those quarterbacks.
Oh no, he's definitely underrated, but top 5 in the league now.
top 5, bro. He did that shit with Baker Mayfield. Top 5. He's hard, man. He is
Justin,
hard.
man, just go ahead, count him out, bro.
I don't know. I mean, we have CD Lamb. He
was top 5 this year.
We have Tyreek Hill. We have Justin. We have Justin Jefferson.
He didn't play long enough this year. He missed half the season.
But when he was,
when he was 1,000 yards, yeah.
When he's in the game, he's the best receiver in football. He is. Oh, who else? I mean, I'm not going to say Puka now, but I mean, Puka was going the fuck off. I mean, Jamar Chase is still here.
Telling you, bro.
And Devontae Adams is still that man too. And his quarterbacks suck as well. I can't.
I'm telling you.
Mike Evans is good. He is a good, consistent, reliable receiver, but I can't say he's top 5. I just
said no one's done what he's done since Jerry fucking Rice.
That's true.
Since Jerry Rice.
So you saying he's top 5 this season for that? The milestone?
Yeah, just because I fuck with him, bro. Yeah.
Okay.
He's good.
He's good.
He don't talk shit. He's got 1,000 yards since the man came in the league.
He's been like that.
With famous Jameis 30 for 30, was still getting 1,000 yards. And in these games where they've counted, he is balled out. Well, except for these last 2, but Baker was poo.
But
1,000 yards. 1,000 yards in every season.
Every season. Every season.
Atlanta is supposed to pick 8 in the first round. So
they could get a quarterback. They could get a quarterback.
I don't know.
They have Penix at 10. Look at Mel Kiper had Penix at 10.
Hold on.
Diaper dandy that, bro. Diaper dandy that.
Okay, hold on. So, unless they move up, all right. Chicago got the first pick. Caleb Williams. They're drafting him. Justin Fields is out of there. Washington has the second pick. That's Drake May, Penix, whoever it is. New England's third. New England's third. They're drafting the quarterback. Arizona's fourth. They're not. Chargers are fifth. Got the 5th pick. They're not. The Giants, maybe. And and Tennessee in front of them. I don't know if they might draft a quarterback. I don't know if Levis is the answer.
I'm just telling you right now.
Levis did go off.
I don't think Penix is going to be there for him.
Penix, they had him down as low as 10, so if he could be there.
If he's one of the top 3 quarterbacks selected, because I mean my top 3 is Williams, Penix, Daniels. That's who I'll draft. Those are my top 3 quarterbacks in the draft.
Yeah.
This website I'm looking at, Hankathon, has Drake May as the number 2 quarterback going to Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And then Daniels going to the Patriots.
Yeah, the league is very high on. Everyone's very high on Drake May. I'm not sure, but
hey, I mean, it's the same stuff as whatchamacallit, Zach Wilson. I mean, we can just keep going with these quarterbacks that they've been super high on. All of a sudden, they weren't all high on CJ, so here we are now. I'm just saying, man, they could do it. We'll see. And then Marvin was the number 3 pick. Because Marvin has to be a top 3 pick.
They projected Marvin to go 4 to the Cardinals.
I can see that, but those first three, I'll tell you right now, the first 3 picks are going to be quarterbacks.
I agree. We'll see. We don't even have a long way to go. The draft's in like 3 months.
So everything could change by then.
Oh, yeah. But with that being said, thank you, everyone, for listening to the L7C podcast. Thank you for being with us the entire college football season. We had a lot of fun. There was a lot of games, a lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of craziness. Transfer portal is crazy. Before I even close this monologue, there's something else I need to say. And this is directed to EA Sports. Y'all are some fucking bastards. You told the whole world.
Oh, they didn't announce that shit yesterday?
You told the whole world you were dropping this trailer at halftime. There were people watching this game who actually don't give a shit about college football. They only play the video game, and y'all didn't say a word. We saw Bowling Green commercials instead of the damn game. Y'all are some hoes. And y'all didn't say nothing. You didn't say shit today.
Agreed.
My man started off saying, "You guys are some bastards."
Hoes. That's terrible. Fuck all y'all. But then on a happier note, day of recording, happy birthday to our guy, Cedric Ware.
Thank you. Appreciate
happy birthday.
Appreciate you.
And with that being said, happy birthday, Cedric. Michigan, you're still some hoes too. EA Sports, fuck y'all. Go Bucks. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.